Hey guys, so I've been asked a whole bunch to do some videos on budgeting and things like that. So I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to do actually like a little bit of a series on how I budget and how I do different things. This one's actually going to specifically be some money saving tips. So outside of the obvious, of course there's always, cut your cable, or which all I have is internet, and I have Netflix. And well, actually with the internet, it was cheaper to have a few channels. We have just a couple channels, nothing that we even watch. But it was cheaper, so find ways to make things cheaper. There's just obvious things, downsize your house, downgrade your car. Like, I've talked about these things, but more realistic, like everyday, day-to-day budgeting, money saving, budget helping tips. These are some things that I do. So I'm going to give you my top 5 things that I think save a lot of money for me. So one of the things is, let's see, ditch disposable things. Stop buying things that you throw away. And it seems so obvious, but you buy so many things that I don't even think a lot of people realize they're buying that's just going to the trash. Paper towels, for example, maybe plastic cups. What are some other things? Obviously, like paper plates, plastic utensils, diapers. If you are a mother or a father with a child in diapers, diapers are a big one. Phone is dying. You can buy reusable diapers. Now, it is a little bit more money up front, but you can turn around if you buy them used. Buy used lots, even just buy pre-folds, which are really inexpensive. Then you can turn around and sell them if you bought them used for almost exactly what you paid for them. So it's actually like kind of a free way to diaper. Right now I'm actually selling all of my diapers on my public Facebook page. And if I were to ever, and I bought all of those new, if I were to ever cloth diaper again, I would buy everything used. That's just me personally. And after, cloth diapering 2 children, I just think it would make so much more sense. So ditch disposable things. Seriously, you don't need paper towels. I keep a roll in my house for really, really, really gross things. So, dog puke, for example, I find that utterly disgusting, and I'll use a paper towel to wipe it up, kind of wipe it up with like along with a plastic bag, and then one to like clean with, and that way I'm not using it. One roll of paper towels lasts me roughly 2 years. So, it's just one of those things. Napkin. Then again, this is coming from somebody who is not a germaphobe. My next one's going to be get creative with what you have. A lot of people, and I see this. Sorry, I'm watching my kids and they're being so crazy. A lot of people will, you need to buy things, or they'll look in their pantry and be like, I have nothing to eat. Get creative with the things that you already have in your house, and you'd be so surprised. I mean, there'd be times where it's like, oh, I need to go grocery shopping so bad, we have nothing to eat, and I can make it stretch for a whole nother week because there are things to eat. You just have to get a little bit creative with what you have. There's just little things, like just get creative, put a little spin on it. You can still use so much that you already have, and make it go far. Another one is sell things that you're not using and then buy things that you need used. And it's something that I'm practicing a lot right now. For example, I'm selling all of my cloth diapers. There's a lot of that type of thing where you can just kind of like flip stuff that you have in a way. And there's a lot of great sites to do it. Of course, there's Craigslist. Craigslist to me, it's a little too blind, I guess would be the best way to describe it. I prefer public, like Facebook pages, like private ones though, where they, okay, so not public, but private. Okay, public in my sense, where I'm like selling publicly on my Facebook page, but local sites where they're private groups where you have to know somebody to be able to like get in the group and things like that. So it becomes it's like a tight knit kind of there's smaller communities, and it's kind of like a swap and barters and stuff like that. So absolutely love that kind of thing. Spend where it's necessary to save. You might be like, what are you talking about? I get a lot of people who say, you spend too much on groceries all the time. People tell me all the time, I spend too much on groceries. Yes, my grocery bill's high. However, I believe that feeding my family right and feeding them very nutritious meals and really like just shoving the fruits and veggies down their throats prevents us from spending a lot of money in the doctor's offices, on antibiotics, on any kind of cold medicine, anything. Knock on wood. I mean, like, knock on a whole lot of wood. Knock on wood for me, because I hate even saying this. But my kids have only had antibiotics once. It was for 2 days. It was for an ear infection when Deacon was 4 months old. That's it. and I honestly credit their nutrition for it. Now, granted, I know that every kid's different, and mind you too, like I think that my take on germs, and nobody take this offensive because to each their own, and I totally get it, but my take on germs is very, very chill. Like my kid licks, like people sanitize the shopping carts and my kids like lick them clean. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like true. So I believe like, and that's totally off topic, but I truly believe that like, you know, spending money where it makes sense to save money is important. And for me, it's in food and good nutrition. So that, hopefully that answers too why my grocery bill seems so high. It's $500 a month for the three of us. And I am working hard at cutting that back down a little bit, but just getting more creative in the way I spend and stuff like that. Oh, hi, Drakey. Next one is meal planning. And I've talked about this before, and I feel like I'm just like beating it to the grave. But meal planning, it saves a ton of money because you're not wasting food. Granted, I spend a ton of money on food. We don't waste any of the food that I buy. So I'm not throwing that money away because, I mean, it's expensive. Food is so expensive. It's my second biggest bill in my, you know, it goes my rent and then food, and it's just, it's crazy. So, by meal planning, you're not wasting food and you're buying things that you aren't going to need, things that may potentially go bad, etc. Okay, and then my last tip is to kind of like cut back. And I know I kind of mocked this in the beginning of the video, saying that, you know, the obvious, cut back on internet, things like that, but cut back on, say, you know, I guess just like little things, like trips, make, you know, driving trips more, you know, more beneficial to you. So if you know you're going to be driving across town, save everything that week for you have for like trips along the way, and then that way you're not, you know, doing lots of like back and forth trips, which tends to be a big money saver for me. So I would definitely I definitely do that a lot. I think those are my real biggies, like instant save money now type tips and things like that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully you found at least one of these tips useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.